Hey guys, welcome back to Honda How To. I don't know how this video is going to turn out because I lost the charger to my camera, so I have to use my cell phone. It's a new phone, so I'm sure the quality will probably be pretty decent. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on the B16 swap. I'm actually sitting in the car right now. I was driving it to work. I've got about 12,000 miles on it so far, and it's been running really good. It's actually running right now. I'll have to do an update video on some pulls and stuff like that. This cluster had just a little bit over 138,000, so it's doing pretty well. It's idling where it should. It runs really good. The only thing that I had problems with the swap actually went flawless. Right when we got the engine in, it fired right up. The original B16 throttle body, somebody replaced the throttle body gasket at one point, and when we fired it up, it ran, but it didn't run right, and it had like a weird, it wasn't like a hunting idle like an idle air control valve would do. It's almost like it had a vacuum leak, which it did. So what happened is when the person replaced the throttle body gasket before me, they tightened one of the bolts down way too tight, and they cracked like a hairline crack across the side of the throttle body, and it was sucking in air. So I had an extra throttle body laying around, and I tossed that in, and that went away. And then eventually, I think it was like 2,000 miles into when I started driving the car, the idle air control valve went out. Ended up replacing that, and it's been flawless ever since. The only regret I have with the engine swap is when I was putting the head together, I wish I would have put the LMAs in, because the engines, the LMAs are pretty noisy, but oh well. That's a pretty easy fix. All you gotta do is pull the cams out and toss them in. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown when you're breaking in a new engine like this. Okay, I don't know how many steps, but I'll just tell you guys exactly what you need to do. First of all, when you're putting your fluids in, be sure to never, ever, ever use synthetic oil when you're breaking in an engine. So I used Rotella 10W30 diesel oil. So that's an actual conventional oil. And since it's diesel oil, it's very, very high in detergent, so it cleans really well. But think of it as like an abrasive. A synthetic oil is super duper slippery, and it's actually, a synthetic oil is great, but for a break-in you don't want to use it, because you want that abrasive properties in that conventional oil to actually grab to the cylinder walls and help seat the rings. That's what that crosshatch section's for, is you want oil to fall into those scratches so the rings can grab it and pull it down and seat in the rings. So never ever use fully synthetic oil, okay? Now the next one is, do not, cooling fan kicked on, idle came up just a little bit. Another thing is do not ever drive the engine at a certain RPM. Okay, so when you're breaking in an engine, always avoid like constant highway driving. You know what I mean? You don't want it to sit at like a specific RPM. You want the RPM range to go up and down, back and forth. You want it to go through heat cycles. You want it to get used to what it's normally supposed to do. Now, if you drive it down the highway at a specific RPM, the rings won't have a chance to seat in all that well. You can drive it down the highway, but when you do drive it down the highway, you want to make sure that You go up in the RPM, let off the throttle, let it come back down, go up, let it come back down. You always want that constant. You never want it to stay constant. You know, you want it to be constantly going up and down. So like in-town traffic driving is actually perfect for breaking in an engine. Same with like a clutch. Clutch is the same way. You want to heat it up and then cool it off, heat it up and cool it off. You just want it to get used to normal day driving. Basically it. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys is what I did when I originally swapped this thing. I took out the exhaust. The exhaust was way too small, obviously, because we put a B series in instead of a single overhead cam. I put a Megan Racing header on it. Oh, excuse me. I put a Megan Racing header on it, and then I did a pre-cat, adjustable pre-cat. It's a OBX, so you can actually like, you can bolt it to the Megan Racing header, and then you put your exhaust on, and then you can adjust the length and adjust the clocking of the flange, and then you get it bolted up, and then you tack weld it, and then you drop it all, and then you can weld it up. And that's exactly what I did. So I used that OBX pre-cat, and then I used a full resonated Yonaka exhaust, and I love the Yonaka exhaust. It was a little bit raspy to begin with, like right when I first got it, and I don't know what the cause of that was, because I've never heard that in a Yonaka exhaust, but now it freaking sounds sweet. It's deep. It's really, really grunty. It has a nice mellow tone. It's not like, you know, whiny freaking beehive sounding like, you know, eBay exhausts on Hondas are. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It sounds really, really good. And a few other things with the car. I have the door panel off. I put in a new window regulator, and it's already toast. So, yeah, kind of sucks, but it was a cheap one, and I don't know. I might just convert this thing to automatic windows, because I have a bunch of doors, and I have to pull apart the dash, because the dash is toast. All the mounting stuff for the cluster is gone. All the tabs snapped off. The dash isn't in that good a shape. It's kind of beat up, and plus I want to put the 99 to 2000 climate control. Oh, and get this. So me and the kids were just going fishing, and as you can see, it's raining out now. My wiper thing broke. Watch this. I'm not touching it. Look at the wipers. It just, see, it just falls. It broke, so I gotta fix that. And I have to clean that up too. That's kind of getting on my nerves. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I gotta tuck up that jumper harness and stuff, but I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that we have to touch on for breaking in an engine. Oh, I suppose distance. Distance, it kind of varies. I mean, you could talk to 100 different people and they'd have 100 different answers. But what I've always done is I break it in for at least 1,000 miles, that constant up and down in RPMs. I'll drive it to 1,500 to 2,000 miles, and then I'll drop the oil, and then I'll run another batch of conventional oil through it. And then after I hit that 3,000 miles on that oil change, then I'll use the oil that I want, like Mobil 1 or Castrol or Royal Purple or whatever, you know, whatever oil you guys want to use. That's what I do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I want to let you guys know, I probably won't be posting any videos in the shop anymore because I don't work there anymore. So I don't really have any place to work on cars except for outside, which is kind of back to my roots, but I don't have a lift anymore or anything like that, so videos are probably not going to be like the way they were, but trying to think. I'm actually going to be going to school and going to be doing that. So, what else? Oh, put a Type R replica spoiler on the car. So, I don't even know about this car, you guys. It's not rusty. It's just when I bought the car, this little old lady that had it ran it into like a pylon. So this driver's side rear quarter panel's all crinkled up, and it's not like the best shape hatchback, but around here you can't really find clean ones. So yeah, that's about it. That's how the Honda How To life has been going. We're working on boats, trying to get them ready for the lake. Haven't really drove my car all that much anymore. Been driving that thing, the Expedition. So, if I end up working on my car, I'll be sure to make a video of it. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging around in this video. It's kind of me rambling on and a couple things I'm going to be doing to the car. But if you guys want to see future videos, if I do work on the car, just make sure you let me know in the comments below. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe and tell your friends. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Peace.